This is the most isolated McDonald's in the world. You can't drive to it, you can't DoorDash it, and unless you're a part of the US military, you can't even eat there. Because this McDonald's isn't in the middle of nowhere. It's in the middle of a geopolitical standoff. At the very edge of Cuba, behind barbed wire and checkpoints, inside one of the most controversial military bases on Earth, there's a fully functioning McDonald's. Yes, Guantanamo Bay, the prison infamous for holding suspected terrorists without trial, has its own golden arches. Guantanamo Bay is cut off from the rest of Cuba. The US has leased this land since 1903, and relations with Cuba have been tense ever since. Because of that, no supplies can come through Cuba itself. So how do you keep a McDonald's running when it's inside of a military base on an island that doesn't like you? You fly everything in. Every bun, every frozen beef patty, every packet of McFlurry mix. All of it comes via military cargo planes or supply ships. The base operates kind of like a floating aircraft carrier. It has its own little town, movie theater, and fast food places. But the McDonald's is the most iconic because it's not just food, it's symbolic comfort. A greasy little slice of America in the middle of one of the most locked down places on the planet. And here's where it gets even weirder. Cubans can't go there. Technically, it's on Cuban soil, but it's a US territory. Cubans don't get access to it. Even most Americans don't. Only military personnel and contractors stationed at Guantanamo Bay can eat there. So you could be in Cuba, staring at McDonald's, and not be allowed within 100 feet of a Big Mac. Even the rent for this base is surreal. The US sends Cuba a check for $4,085 every year. Cuba hasn't cashed it in decades. They just let them pile up in a desk drawer somewhere. A passive-aggressive form of protest. So the next time somebody tells you there's a McDonald's everywhere, they're technically right, even if you need a military badge or cargo plane to get there. What's ironic is, one of the only places on Earth without a McDonald's is also the one place where dying is illegal. There's a town where dying is illegal. And no, that's not clickbait. It's a real law. If you're terminally ill, seriously injured, or nearing the end of your life, you're required to leave. Because in Longyearbyen, a remote Arctic town on the island of Svalbard, you're not allowed to be buried. Why? Because the ground's frozen solid, permafrost. That means when you bury a body, it doesn't decompose, it just stays preserved. And that isn't a theory, it happened. In the 1990s, scientists exhumed bodies buried here decades earlier and found traces of the 1918 Spanish flu virus still intact. That virus killed millions of people worldwide. And in theory, it could still be contagious. So local authorities made it official. No burials, no exceptions. If you're seriously ill, the hospital arranges for you to be flown to the mainland before you die. If you die unexpectedly, your body will still be transported out. You can't be laid to rest here, and there hasn't been a burial in town since 1950. But that's not the only strange rule in this place. You also can't be born here. Pregnant women are required to leave a few weeks before giving birth, because the local hospital isn't equipped for delivery. If you go into labor early, they fly you out on a plane. Why? Because Longyearbyen isn't just remote, it's extreme. It's one of the northernmost towns in the world, located deep in the Arctic. It's so far north, you get 4 months of total darkness in the winter and 4 months of nonstop daylight in the summer. There are also more polar bears than people, and if you want to leave town for a hike, you're legally required to carry a rifle just in case one shows up. There are also no roads connecting this town to the outside world. Everything comes in by ship or plane. No highways, no cars coming in or out, just snowmobiles and frozen trails. And believe it or not, you can't own a cat here. The ecosystem is so fragile, a single house cat could wipe out the entire native bird species, so they're banned. Oh, and deep inside the mountain above the town, there's a massive underground vault holding seeds for every major crop on Earth. It's called the Svalbard Global Seed Vault. And if the world ever ends, this is where humanity's food supply starts over. So yeah, between the burials, the births, the bears, and the bunker, Longyearbyen might be the most extreme town on Earth. And if you ever visit, just make sure you leave before your expiration date.